months left in office, Student Senate doesn't seem to feel the same crunch as more legislation continues to pass each week, including a major bill that will help students across Kansas. Here to discuss that bill and more is Student Senate Communications Director Isaac Bahney. Isaac, thanks so much for joining us. Lifeline 911, can you give me a rundown on why this bill is so important to KU students?
Absolutely. So basically, to give you a gist of what Lifeline 911 does, to put it into a scenario, if you're at a party, two underage people, you're both intoxicated. As it's currently written, if you were to call for medical help, call an ambulance to help, you could be charged with minor intoxication with an MIP or an MIC. What this bill does, what Lifeline 911 would do, is it would allow for a minor to call emergency personnel and not have to worry about getting charged with an MIC or an NIP. So it promotes student safety. It promotes that if a student does need help, they'll be able to get that access. So kind of where it's at now, it passed in the state legislature, it passed in the Senate last year, and then just the other day it passed in the State House. So now it's going to be heading over to Governor Brownback's desk for him to sign.
Perfect, and I know Student Senate worked on this so long. You lobbied in Topeka, things like that. How does it feel to finally see this bill come to fruition?
You know, it's great. This has been something we've been talking about getting done for the last couple of years. This is something the Board of Regents has really been backing with the Student Advisory Council. All the student body presidents, Jesse Pringle included, have really been pushing this. You know, it's great to see that the legislature is listening to students. We went up for Higher Education Day on Wednesday, so Thursday morning when they passed the bill, it's just a really nice feeling to know that they're listening to us.
Perfect, and kind of switching gears here, you know, Senate has sent out their survey for the year. Touches on a lot of topics, and one of those topics is making KU a wet campus. So Kansas, as we all know, has very strict alcohol regulations. How do you guys think that's going to work out?
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's definitely plausible. Our friends over west at Manhattan, they have a wet campus. Other universities around the state do have a wet campus. When you compare us to other Big 12 institutions, we are also one of the only universities that isn't a wet campus. So kind of what that potentially would look like is, for example, on game days, have a location in the Union where you could potentially buy malt beverages. Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. One thing we just really want to do on this issue as well as on other issues is just to be able to gauge student input, get students' reaction to it before we proceed with anything.
Fantastic. And another thing that's on the survey, which has been a huge topic all semester, is mental health for students. So where does Student Senate step in and get involved with this whole mental health situation we have?
Absolutely. So, I mean, I think the first step is being able to listen. You know, we've been listening to students, and they have a really big concern on this. This is a very critical issue on our campus. And this survey is just another opportunity for us to gain student feedback on those issues. We want to know more about how students perceive mental health, and also how we can best provide those services and how we can best make students aware of those services. In terms of what we can do, you know, we're a great advocate to the administration on different proposals, different ideas. Student Senate also, through the fee review process, it does control fee for Watkins Health Center, for CAPS funding. So that's another route we could potentially go towards.
Fantastic. And once you have all this data, Isaac, what do you guys do with it?
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's all about advocating for students. And I think the first step to be able to advocate for students is to listen to students, to listen to their ideas, listen to their concerns. So far, we have over 2,500 students who've taken this survey. That's a very large increase from the number that we had last year, and we're only a couple days in. So I guess my encouragement right now is just for everyone out there is to take this survey. There will be another email reminder on the 9th, as well as a couple after that, reminding students to take it. Take it, let your voice be heard. There's also a box in there. We have all these important issues that we're talking about, but there's also a box. If you have other concerns that you would like to bring about to Senate, bring those up and we'll be happy to have that conversation.
Fantastic. Isaac, thank you so much for joining us for the Student Senate Talk, as always. Thanks. Great. Coming up after the break, Alden German will let you know what's going on with the weather tonight when you're out at the bars, and Angelina Dom will give us a preview for the 4 o'clock news. Stay tuned.